Hallo und herzlich willkommen am Telestammtisch.
Hi, it's a pleasure.
Hi.
My name is Andy. I'm from the German audio podcast Der Telestammtisch, and I'm a huge fan of the original series, and I really enjoyed the first episodes of your new series, and I'm very looking forward for this interview.
Cool.
Excellent.
Okay, first question. How did it feel to be Tony and Ziva again after 10 years? Is there a change in the chemistry between both characters?
Revisiting the characters was like a dream. It was a little bit of magic. And I don't know. What do you think about the chemistry? Do you think it's still there?
Tree.
What is chemistry?
Well, it's sort of like the alchemistry. It's an alchemical interaction. What was
Paulo Coelho, The Alchemist.
Yes, you read that book and then watch Tony and Ziva. It make much more sense.
Okay. Now they are a family. How did that change your characters? And how was, for example, casting Tali, the daughter of these characters, as far as I know, portrayed by at least two different actresses? Maybe you can tell us something about the new family situation.
Well, for me, it was funny because, and you're right, we had Olivia who played the younger Tali, and then Isla played the older Tali, and my kids visited set and became friends with both of the actresses who were playing Tony's daughter. And so they were very suspicious, my children, of my TV children. But then they all got along wonderfully. And I think that is what is the point of having the show. I don't think we wanted to do a show where Tony and Ziva solve crimes every week, or we have a private detective agency in, Mississippi. I think it was more about how will this little human life affect their dynamic, and how can we explore that?
Yeah, NCIS always has been a show about family for me, especially in the first seasons. And would you say family is still a big topic, a big thing in the new show?
Yes, and this becomes that was more of a that was definitely a family, but this is actually like someone born out of this connection. You know what I mean? Which was and is a very real connection to them. This child is everything to them.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get to see that side of them as human beings. You get to see them sort of rise to the occasion of the best versions of who they are, to try to make sure that she is safe, which also involves, the co-parenting aspect of it, the communication, which they have to really hone in on and try to make it work.
Yes, thank you very much. The new show, Navy Say as Tony and Ziva, for me is absolutely funny. It's hilarious. I like it, and it's a very different tone than I'm used to when I'm watching the NCIS universe shows. Was that planned? And especially. How was it finally to use the F word?
Well, I think it was like the first time we realized, oh my God, we have this freedom. That's weird. And we don't know how it feels. And so, we tried it out. The great thing about streaming is that you can show more and you can have flexibility and freedoms that you didn't have a network. So that part was an interesting thing, and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, I think so. For audiences that are used to the 1 hour, everything wrapped up in a neat, tidy nutshell, and then the next episode starts all over again with the pattern that you're used to. This is a new pattern. So it does feel different in terms of how the story is presented, because it's a 10-hour movie and it is more of a quest and an adventure and it has this romance and action and all this stuff. So it's not a procedural drama where we explain the plot 10 times in a row, where it's a puzzle. That is the challenge, to bring the audience along into this new format, is to show them that Tony and Ziva still have the core relationship and the elements that you recognize from the original show. The banter, the banter is just a product of the way they interact.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not like banter for banter's sake. It's we could have totally bland written dialogue and we would figure out a way to make it real spicy.
Oh.
Okay, I think last question for today. This is for a German audience, and we know our actors. So let's talk about Henning Baum. And he joined the crew. How was working with him? Please tell us something about him.
He is awesome. We enjoyed him so much. In fact, I remember at one point, I reached out to him. We had finished working with him, and I think he's living in Mallorca, if I'm not mistaken. I hope I'm not revealing any privacy things. But
you'll hear from him.
Yeah, and he was talented. Just a lovely person. He is such an interesting actor because he came in, he was unapologetic about the things that he wanted to explore. And Michael and I, had such a positive reaction to that. We love people that come in with a point of view about a character and that question and that push back. And we feel that that's all very much in the performance also. He was so kind, so open. There was like an earthy quality. We thought, who is this bird?
No, but if only he'd been in better shape.
This guy is built like a chiseled.
Oh, he's like a Marvel character.
Yeah, he is. He's like the Hulk.
Isn't he? Yeah.
And he's, there's something about him that's very earthy. Like when he sat down and he kind of took the space in.
You like the earth.
I love him. I just think he was one of my favorite people that season. There was something about him that he left on that set, and I just held on to that because I was like, I want a little bit more of that. Wasn't he great?
Yeah, it's a great episode.
It's a great episode
that they underpin there.
Yeah,
and it's a contrast to Tony and Ziva. As we go through the arc of the 10 episodes, you'll see all these couples that Tony and Ziva come across that reflect back to them what they are in a sort of
oh my God, what kept
way.
on coming back to me was I remember when there was like the book with all the poses, and he kept on looking at the book. He's like, you should try that. He was just...
You like the earthiness.
I know. I just really enjoyed him, and I enjoyed that episode.
I understand.
I enjoy you more.
That's a nice.
Great. Thank you very, very much. It was a pleasure.